And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on our Christmas special, which, unlike our Halloween special, we very intelligently recorded a week before Christmas so that we can actually put it out on Christmas. Well,
yeah, there was actually planning for a change. It's revolutionary for us.
yeah, somehow, some way, we're going to make this work and sound relatively professional.
That's pushing it a bit, but yeah, cool. And I already realised my mic isn't in the right place. You keep blabbing.
So we're on our topic segment. This isn't going to be super Christmas themed until the end, but I did try to think up some Christmas themed topics. The media segment, we definitely will not be super Christmas right off the bat because the movie we watched this week was not Christmas themed. But we'll try to bring it back to that. The first topic that I wrote down. Actually, before I even get into that, I thought I should mention we have our first piece of fan art, or at least that's what I'd call it.
Would you? Is it art?
Yeah, I mean, it's somebody drew it.
Or is it a flagrant attack on the?
I mean, honestly, she could have just been making fun of us.
It was very impressive. I was quite surprised to see it, and it was very good.
Yeah, one of our listeners made a bingo card for ticks that we do way too often on this podcast.
Yeah.
Which
I'm sure they're going to be sitting there right now, prepping to cross them off, and I'm going to do my damnedest not to give them any chance to do so.
By the way, did you notice I didn't say "and" when I started the segment?
I'm not falling for that shit, man. I'm not falling for it.
Oh, man. All right, so first topic that I had written down for this very special Christmas episode. I am going to try to keep it to that theme, although who knows what'll happen. Oh, we do have a quiz segment this at the end of this podcast as well, which very different from the normal one. I'll be quizzing Blue.
It'll be a pleasant change, except I am terrible at quizzes, at answering quizzes. So...
So, I should mention that it was always the intention to have us trading back and forth, and like one person does one quiz, the next person does the next quiz, because it was meant to be the end of the month. It just, because of when we started it, and because of when we came up with the idea, it just happened that the first quiz was on Halloween, and so Blue was doing it, because it was his idea to do it, and then it was Thanksgiving.
No idea about it that time.
It was Thanksgiving, and they don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, so I couldn't really quiz him about it. He wasn't going to have the knowledge, so he quizzed me. But now it's Christmas, and I have thought up some Christmas-themed questions for Blue. Which, again, through a miracle of coincidence, and not through scheduling, the quiz show will go up on Christmas Day. On YouTube, at least.
But that's for later.
It is. Sorry, I just
for now
had to do some plugging.
Plug those holes early.
Shut the fuck up. The first topic that I had was something that came up when I was talking to my father yesterday. There's a weird Christmas tradition that a lot of families in my hometown had that we never did growing up, and I didn't know if this may or may not be a thing in the UK, but it's called Elf on a Shelf. Are you familiar with this?
I've heard the phrase elf on a shelf.
So, the idea, and I had to look this up because I had no idea what it was. As far as I could tell when I was growing up, it was just they put a little elf on a shelf somewhere in the house, just in a random location. And I found out yesterday when I was on the phone with my dad, and I looked it up, and it's just because he hadn't heard of it either. It's just the idea is the elf is like a forward scout from the North Pole who's checking on the kid throughout all of the December month to make sure the kid is behaving themselves and still deserves their presents or something like that.
See, I've clearly been playing too much Payday 2 recently, because the first thing I thought when you said it's like a secret hidden elf on a shelf is that the elf was full of cocaine.
It's not very Christmas themed.
Well,
I
people being jolly, I think. That's fairly
And
Christmassy.
you know what? Cocaine is also called snow. So
It is. Wow. See, we're making dreams happen today.
yeah, we're making drug use wholesome.
Um, no, don't take drugs. Kid.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Um,
disavow.
we're talking about Coca-Cola. Uh, I
So
was thinking of something and I forgot. Oh, but no, there are some traditions which I don't. These might be these might have been questions that you'd prep for later. I don't know whether you have these traditions over in America.
hmm.
Um, my grandfather used to always take a lump of coal to the end of the street and like swap it with one of the neighbors.
Huh. Yeah, no, we that's not something we ever did.
Yeah. Um, I honestly I don't know because I've never done it myself, and I don't. There are very. I- It's not a very common thing here, so I don't really know what it's about.
Yeah.
Um, and the other Christmas thing that sticks out for me is hiding the. I think it was originally a shilling in the Christmas pudding, and whoever got the shilling, got the shilling, assuming they didn't choke on it like a Kinder Egg.
Yeah, I mean, that's would that be illegal in the U.S.? Probably only if you sold the pudding. Um,
Most likely.
yeah, I'm thinking like the only there was another tradition I think friends of mine had growing up where they'd open one present on Christmas Eve, and I think that may have just been to like stop the kids like going crazy and let them go to sleep.
Yeah, we used to
Um,
do that in the morning of Christmas morning.
well, yeah, we always opened when I was growing up. It was always Christmas morning. You'd wake up early, then you'd open the presents. But the one tradition was like leaving milk and cookies out for Santa. But that's one of the more generic ones.
Yeah, we never used to really do that in my house. I mean, okay, what the thing I was saying about opening present in the morning. I mean, we got to open one present in the morning, and
Oh, and what
then
the rest were in the afternoon or something?
it was like after lunch we got to open the rest. I think
Okay.
they were like spread out through the day, um, and normally like the best presents had to be like the last ones we opened. But we did have what was called Santa sacks. I don't know if
We had
uh,
stockings.
yeah, I mean stockings are also very common over here. I don't know whether anyone else had Santa sacks. That's just what we called them in our house.
Yep.
It was these like literal giant decorated sacks that our mother made, I believe, and mine had like a big Rudolph face on the front, and you pressed the nose on the sack, and it played Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Ah.
It was very wholesome, which is very odd. Why I grew up to be such a such a Scrooge.
I mean, it's we didn't have no Santa sacks I'd never heard of. We did the whole stockings above the fireplace thing, and they'd have like tiny little loose presents in them.
Yeah.
Um, and there was one for everyone in the house, and so we had those, but yeah, nothing like that. I'm trying to think of other like little traditions that we did around Christmas.
I
There
mean,
was
I think a
always
lot of families to this day still do like a family walk.
a walk.
Yeah, they go on like a family walk. The whole family goes out, and I know it doesn't sound like something particularly revolutionary, but how often do you like just go on a long walk with your whole family kind of thing?
That's an
Um,
interesting idea. Yeah, no, ours was just kind of there'd be some kind of a breakfast, and then we'd uh, so our first of all, for my family, the way Christmas typically went was you wake up early, go downstairs, parents would have coffee and light breakfast, and then we'd open presents, right?
mm,
And after spending some time together, looking through stuff, cleaning up, chatting, we then go up because we rotated holidays. So Christmas was something that we did up at my uncle's place in New Hampshire, and so we'd go up there. Well, when I was younger and my grandfather was still alive, we used to go over to his place. So Christmas was done at his house, and it would be this big affair, big meal,
Yeah.
family doing stuff, and then he had a yard. We'd go out there and do stuff around that. He had like this rock wall out in front of his house. It was like this big rock formation, and it was perfect for like climbing. So I used to go up
Bouldering.
there
Love
and
it.
yeah, and ramble around and hopefully not fall on my head. I was actually I've always been a pretty good climber, but they
Yeah.
yeah. So it was that. So we didn't have like a coordinated thing, but it would be like gather together, big family meal in the like. So the morning was for the individual family groups, and then the afternoon was everyone gathers
The
together
family
and
as
has
a
a
whole.
big
Yeah.
family meal at like one person's house. Originally, it was at my grandfather's. Now it's at my uncle's.
Yeah, we kind of split it into two over here. We have this is something we've briefly touched on the other day. Um, so Christmas Day is obviously with the direct family, and yeah, that goes as normal. Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, is when my family gets together as like the extended family gets together. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
And we set the huge table out with like whatever it is, 20 odd seats, more than that normally, and all the cousins and that are sat around. Which is like it's basically like a cheeky second Christmas dinner, really. But
I mean, it
we
kind of makes some sense to split it up into 2 days. Boxing Day
we
isn't
also
isn't a day over here.
yes, I don't know what the term Boxing Day stands for particularly.
So, damn it! I should have asked you that as a quiz question.
That would
So
be a good
that
one.
isn't a quiz question, but I can actually tell you because
Oh, okay.
one of our former mutual acquaintances from one of the old servers actually filled me in on the history about it.
Right.
Apparently, Boxing Day, and this is the reason we don't have it in the U.S. It originates out of Britain in the 1800s, and it's
Right.
because it was very fashionable to have live-in help, like a maid, if you were really well off, like a butler, a cleaner, and all this other gardener, whatnot,
Mm.
a cook in the house, and so it would be their responsibility on Christmas Day to actually cook and clean and provide for the family that was employing them. Boxing
Right.
Day was their Christmas
Fair
Day.
deal.
So
Okay.
so basically, Boxing Day was universally recognized as the day off for the help. Like they would be able to spend time with their families, have their Christmas dinners, open their presents,
Gotcha.
and the day before was for their employers, essentially.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Now I think about it, we do have quite a few odd little traditions. With the on Boxing Day, we do. It's pretty standard. Like we have a big lunch, and then what's left after lunch goes into dinner. But we also do the infamous pass the parcel, and this isn't just any pass the parcel. This is so yes, there's like 30 of us. There's uncles, cousins, brothers, all that kind of things. And there's two parcels going around at the same time, and in the background, my grandfather's playing. Oh, what's that guy called? I kicked myself. Old jazz musician's name.
Ray
Glenn
Charles.
Miller. Glenn Miller.
Oh.
And when the music stops, whoever it lands on, they get to pick up one present that's like normal, but they also have to add one item of fancy dress to themselves.
I have never heard of this game, Pass the Parcel, in general.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it sounds like a weird combination of Yankee Swap and
Damn it.
musical
You know what you've
chairs.
just done, Kaiser?
What?
Just given her a point on the bingo card.
Oh, God damn it!
um, yeah, Pass Puzzle. Yeah, Pass Puzzle is like a children's party game where music plays and whoever's in charge of the music, it's like normally an adult off to the side. At a random time, the music will stop, and whoever the parcel stops in the hands of gets to unwrap it. And then there's a smaller present inside with also a little gift. So you take the gift and then you pass on the parcel, right? because it's wrapped up again.
Mm.
So it's like Russian dolls. But yeah, in our version, you also have to put on a piece of fancy dress. So you end up with like a wizard's cape, a builder's hat, and some googly eyes kind of thing.
That actually sounds amazing. I've never heard. I've never heard of the game in general, and I've certainly never heard of that version. I may steal that tradition.
That's fine. It's always a good laugh.
That sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I think I like that version of. Finish your story, but that brings me on.
I was just gonna say it's every year the pool of fancy dress items does grow a little bit because obviously with new young people come in family and they've got their like fancy dress, like maybe an Elsa costume or something. I don't know. But the original costumes were like when I was a very young child and we'd go out like trick or treating or something. That was when it was from. So everything is also like way too small, but you still got to like find a way to fit it on. But yeah, that's it.
So it made me think of there are like two kind of like gift giving games that I'm aware of right off the bat. That you normally do these with friends or coworkers, not so much with family. Although I'm sure there's probably families out there that do this. But there's Secret Santa, and then there's Yankee Swap. Secret Santa is the one that I like. Yankee Swap is the one that I think is tailor-made to ruin Christmas.
Yeah, is that the one where you like steal other people's
Yankee Swap
gifts?
is where you steal from people.
Yeah,
that's a very good Christmas tradition. Let's rob this person.
I mean, to be fair, Monopoly.
Well, yeah, that's
it's also up there.
But no, so Secret Santa, fairly simple. You've got a pool of people. This is why you normally do it with friends or coworkers. You've got a pool of people. You put all their names in a hat or something like that, or some other mixing device. Do some way to randomize the names and hand them out to people. And you know who you got a gift for, but they don't know who you are. So you bring a gift that's just to someone, not from anyone, and there's a price limit usually. So like you gift $15, go out there, buy a present for this person. And I like it because you actually have to tailor the gift to the person. It's actually, and it's so like you can get them prank gifts, or you can get them good gifts, or you can just get them something generic if you don't really know what they like. But you're getting a gift for somebody else. They open it, they get the gift. Yankee Swap, on the other hand, is you randomize. You get a bunch. Everyone brings a present, so they're already always generic. There's usually a price limit as well, and you put all the gifts in a big pool, essentially, and then you randomize people, and then they pick. So first person picks a present, and then the second person has the option to pick a present or steal from the first person.
Gotcha.
Now, here's the thing I also don't like about this, is the first person unwraps the present before you steal from them. So that would be the one way I could see this game not ruining Christmas, is if the person didn't unwrap the present, so they don't even know what they had yet, and then you decide to take them just on the shape of the box, the weight,
Yeah, the sound of it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Then you decide, okay, I'm going to steal from that person, and they're not invested in it because they haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
But every single time I've played that game, it has ended in bitterness and resentment, and I can't think of a single game more guaranteed to ruin Christmas than that game, or to just like hatred among your friends and coworkers. It's like the opposite of a team building exercise.
I was like, well, I was comparing that in terms of competitiveness to musical chairs. I assume that's a game you have over there.
Yes, it is. Musical chairs was what I was thinking of when you were talking about the pass the parcel thing.
Right, yeah. It has the same musical aspect to it. That can get pretty heated.
Oh yeah, but that's just because it's like you tackle somebody off of a chair so you can sit down.
To be fair though, I don't know. I think most of my family is quite competitive. So
Yeah.
I
My
play.
family is too, to be honest,
Yeah, I can imagine yours
but
is.
but that usually just manifests in like us mocking each other relentlessly when we play board games.
Hmm. I mean, I played like Scrabble with my gran
Hmm.
um, and my mum, and there have been like I remember I once used the word. This is when I was a bit younger, so I didn't know the particularly long words, and so I was like mage, as in
Yeah.
Mage.
Yeah.
And they turned to me and like, that's not a word. I was like, oh yeah? Look it up in the dictionary. And they're like, no, it's fine. We'll look it up. That's fine, but it's not a word, and you're gonna have to take it back. And they're like, unless it's a four-letter word. I mean, come on.
Yeah. But it
Um,
is. It
and I
is a
was like,
word.
bam! It's in the Oxford English Dictionary. It counts. That's 4 points to me.
Oh man. Board games. We didn't like Monopoly. We played Monopoly a bit when I was growing up, but the game that my dad loved, and I haven't played this in a long time. I kind of want to play it again. Maybe I'll see if we can play it at Christmas. Was cribbage.
Cribbage. I've heard of it. I just can't remember what it is.
It's a game of well, it's a math game really. So you've got I don't remember the exact rules, but I know it involves you have a deck of cards, and you use the cards to move little pegs along a board, and you have three pegs, and those pegs have to move like all the way to the end of the board to actually win.
Right.
So it's a game of strategy and math, which is why I really liked it when I was a kid. Um,
Right. Is it kind of like blackjack? It's like 21, where you've got to like get the exact number.
you see, I don't want to say I don't want to say because I am going to be embarrassed the next time I talk to my dad because he loves the game and I've forgotten the exact card rules.
Uh,
I know like the general premise and I know what's involved with it, but I can't remember how you actually score and move the pieces
right.
because it's honestly been more than a decade since I played.
Yeah. There's I can always backgammon. I always learn it and then forget it within like a week.
Oh yeah,
I assume that's another thing you've got over.
yes
I
it
know I'm
is.
asking you to keep asking this question, but
Well,
yeah.
no, but the whole pass the parcel thing I think has thrown everything into question.
Yeah, because that was like super common in my eyes. Backgammon, I think, is like, who the heck plays backgammon?
I did play a lot
Um,
of board games, card games, and gambling games. We had a lot of fun with those.
yeah.
Oh, um, so this is something that talking to some of my Asian friends,
Mm.
um, they were talking about. I think it was may have been actually may have been both of them, both Juan and Raymond, were saying that in their families. I know Juan for certain. They were saying that they get like it's traditionally like they give like lottery cards on
Mm.
Christmas, or they'll have
Yeah,
little
the
parcels
red
of money in
letters.
the tree. Yeah, exactly in
Yeah.
the tree and stuff like that. Um, so I didn't know because when I was looking up when I was doing research for the quiz,
Mm.
I was noticing that a lot of cultures have gambling traditions, and
Yeah, I mean, China's quite. They're all about like luck. And,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to offend anyone. But
but it yeah for like a Western equivalent. I know like a lot of Italian traditions kind of come down to that too, like luck and good fortune
mm.
and stuff like that. And then you have like the what is it? The Greek and honestly, I think the Nordic traditions as well have that whole thing that like for good luck, at a feast or a party, you're supposed to like pour out a little of your drink on the ground, the first drink.
Yeah,
It's meant to
yeah.
be. Depending on the culture you're talking about, it's either meant to be good luck or it's meant to be the portion for the gods.
Mm. There are some really weird ones as well. Like literally just the other week, I was posting a letter,
Hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, my gran was in the room." I was like, "Can I, have a borrow a stamp?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "All right." but only if you pay me back immediately. I was like, okay, it's like 60p, isn't it, right? But yeah, no, apparently it's really unlucky if you don't. You have to trade like 1 for 1 with stamps.
That
Otherwise it's
is
terrible luck.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but yeah, these traditions.
I mean, there's that's thinking we're kind of transitioning into like these weird superstitions, these luck traditions. But I mean, there's the generic ones, black cat crossing your path, don't walk under a ladder, don't break a mirror.
Yeah, I get most of that. What is the black cat one? Because there's like one version where it's lucky and one version where it's not, isn't it?
There is, yeah. Like some people think black cats are lucky, some people think black cats are unlucky, and
Right.
I don't know where the difference came from. You know what? We'll need to look it up, because oh god, but
Wait, no, that's not the point. Damn it, Kaiser! I'm not looking
No.
it up. Wait, no. It's only if I actually look it
Yeah,
up.
it's only if you actually look it up while I waffle on.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This feels like I have a personal vendetta now. It's nothing personal. It's just stuck in my head.
Well, that's something that I was worried about. Is like, oh god, now that I've read this bingo card, am I going to like be watching my behavior
Yeah.
as I do the podcast? And then I realized no, because I don't give a shit. Not to say I don't. I'm glad I thought that was really cool, but
Cursed
I
bingo
don't.
card.
Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that modifies my behavior just because
No.
I know somebody's watching. Oh,
Yeah, no,
I kind of got off topic there. Yeah, so some of the weirder luck traditions.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of some of the other ones, like walking over a bridge, spitting for luck.
Oh, okay. On Christmas,
Yeah.
from largest to smallest, meals of the day.
Largest to smallest.
Hmm.
Oh God.
Or smallest, largest, whichever.
No, I'm just trying to think. It depends on what time of the day you're talking, because usually Christmas, we only really have 2 meals. We have a small breakfast and then a huge dinner,
Right.
and then there might be like a snack either before or after dinner, depending on when it happens, that could be considered a smaller meal. But dinner
Yeah,
definitely the biggest one, and it's usually in like mid-afternoon or
Mm.
mid to early afternoon, and then breakfast is the second one, and then depending on what you're talking about. But again, that's because we do the big family meal on Christmas Day usually.
Right.
So
Yeah, we in our house we don't. I mean, you can see me. I'm skinny as a stick. I don't eat too much. So we generally have, like, pretty much. Well, normally we'll have something a little bit fancy like croissant for breakfast. But yeah, we'll have the main big meal at lunchtime, and then whatever we don't finish at lunch will be like not stir fried, just like thrown in a pan, roasted up for supper.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't generally eat Christmas pudding either. Go on.
No. I was just thinking. Yeah, we had the leftovers and stuff typically are, excuse me,
Ample.
things that last for days after
Yeah,
after the fact.
yeah,
As is the case also with Thanksgiving.
yeah. Yeah. I think Christmas is like the only time of year where, particularly in England, where you particularly feast,
Hmm.
as far as I can think. I mean, obviously at Halloween you eat a bunch of sugary crap.
Yeah.
At
Or-
Easter, the same thing.
Or you do if you're someone who's not me.
Well, yes, you do not partake.
I will eat candy at Halloween. I just don't really like sweet things. And the candy that I eat is typically like dark chocolate or like Reese's, things that are more savory or bitter.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Reese's. Anyway,
It was the only candy I ate.
I've just got a very nice, very fancy, very big bottle of rum, which was a godsend because I was running out. So I shall be good for Christmas.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It is. Well, I mean, is it a miracle when you know someone's going to buy you it?
I don't know, maybe.
Very fancy. It's got like twine wrapped around the neck of it.
Is it a miracle if you know it's coming? That's a philosophical question, I think.
Well, I didn't know. Okay, so what I generally say is because I am of the opinion that I don't want people to worry about what they're going to get me over Christmas. So I just say, look, just get me something. Get me just a different rum I've never had before. It's a bit wacky. If you can't get anything else, or just buy me chocolates or something. I don't know. Because consumable stuff doesn't take up room in your house, and it's a nice treat, and that's basically what Christmas is, a nice treat.
Yeah.
But yes, this is rum bouillon.
Rum bouillon. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It is very fancy. Well, I mean, okay, I don't know if it's fancy. It's very traditional.
Yeah.
I'm just describing a bottle of rum now.
Is sorry, no, I'm thinking now because I was thinking you've got me on. We're still I'm still in the Christmas mindset, and you're now talking about rum, and that made me think of eggnog because
I've never had eggnog.
yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to ask if you'd had it. Yeah, eggnog is a I mean, it's
bit of an anomaly.
It's this very like thick and creamy beverage, and the alcoholic variety is typically had alongside well, it's typically mixed in with like rum and nutmeg, I think.
Yeah.
I mean it's quite good just on its own. Also, that is a very fancy bottle. Blue having just sent me a picture of the bottle. It's got like melted wax over the paper and stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to cut the wax.
That is a very fancy bottle. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
No. I think we've pretty much talked our way around this. And
ah, shit. Oh,
did you just stab yourself?
No.
Fucking moron.
With like a blunt box cutter.
Oh my god. All right, let's end segment 1 there with Blue having just
The
injured
blood!
himself.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, this has been segment 1 of the TMCJ podcast Christmas special. We will take a brief intermission and then be right back with you with segment 2.
Yep, and I'll finally have got the bottle open by then.
Let's hope.
Or I'll be dead and trying.
Yeah. See y'all soon. Welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are on segment 2, our media segment. We just talked a lot about Christmas traditions and superstitions and such. And now we're on to what would have been talking about Christmas movies, but we actually watched, it was Alicia's choice this week, and we watched what I wanted to call I kept wanting to say St. Vincent's, but that's a hospital in Worcester. It's St. Trinian's, which you just reminded me in the break there.
Yeah. At first I thought you were talking about Boondock Saints. Because you just remembered Saints.
Yeah.
I was like, eh? But yes, St. Trinian's. The
much,
first one.
Yeah, very much in the line of... it reminded me of, in a weird way, of... Oh, what was it? There were 2 movies like put together that I'd seen before. Well, one that I'd seen and one that I'd heard about. It's very much in line with what I think the movie Mean Girls is. I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Mostly when I went over to a friend's house and they were watching it.
I can't remember ever seeing Mean Girls.
It's very much like the high school drama kind of movie.
Right.
Where it's just girls like it's whereas this movie seemed to be all the girls banding together and doing something. That movie is very much all the girls tearing each other apart and bullying each other. So, but a little bit of that combined with Spy Kids. That was the other movie I was thinking of.
Yes, very, very Spy Kids. I would have probably loved this film as a kid. As an adult, there were definitely funny parts.
but there were there were more cringy parts.
There were quite cringy parts.
Although there were bits that made me laugh. Um, oh, what was it? The one that made me laugh right off the bat was when the girl wants to be taken home and she's not like she's begging her father to take her back because she doesn't want to stay at this boarding school and she's like, I don't want to be here, this place is like Hogwarts for pikeys. And I just
Yeah.
fucking lost it. Is that an offensive word in the UK?
What, pikeys?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it means
It's just like it's like
means
rural
someone
people,
who's,
right?
it means a thief.
Oh, is it?
Basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I always thought it was just like I thought it was like you guys' equivalent of like calling someone a redneck or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that you can have multiple meanings for like the word chav, it's yeah.
Okay,
But, yeah, for me, it's always been someone who steals stuff.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, a little bit more education going on in this segment, but no, I
yeah,
just the movie. The basic premise of the movie is that you've got a girls' boarding school in the UK, and this girl who has very clearly been to a better school before is all prim and proper, and her dad drops her off at this place, which is very clearly the opposite of that. There's like, debris all over the place. There's I think when she's walking in, there's one girl being dragged like by another girl on a tractor. There's all this weird like semi occult stuff all over the place. When they go up to the receptionist at the very beginning, like the receptionist is like barely paying attention to them, and then she finally like blurs awake, and she says something along the lines of, oh, when I've been drinking all weekend, my brain just isn't there until Wednesday. And she looks at the girl, and she's like, oh, you know what I mean. And that sets the tone right off the bat.
yeah.
And so it's very much like yeah. Just go on. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, have you seen Tracy Beaker?
Mm-mm. No,
Okay,
I haven't.
Might not be a thing of that. In fact, it almost definitely isn't now I think about it. Yeah, the whole girl rebellion
Yeah.
genre, I guess.
So she goes there, and it is exactly what it looks like, and it's just like basically all the kids there don't do any actual schoolwork. They have instead
And yet they're all geniuses in their own
yeah,
way.
exactly. That's the thing. They're all like mis what's the word I'm looking for? Misunderstood geniuses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like the stereotypical cliques. The emo kids. But they take it to a degree that I don't think you could get away with in the U.S.
How
Like
do you mean?
the popular girls running essentially a sex hotline.
Yeah, I don't think you get away with that these days. I mean, this is an old film.
Yeah, what was it? 2000. It was mid 2000s, like 2008, 2009, 2007, something like that.
Right. I'll have a look.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
talking.
yeah. Look at that while I go over the plot more. But so essentially, these girls they through a contrived series of events, they end up having to pull off a heist, and they decide to rob an art museum, both to get back at the main character girl's father because he left her there and tried to, basically sell her down the river, and to also save the school because the school's about to be foreclosed on.
So that film came from 2007, but by the looks of it, it was based off of a film from 1954.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Black and white.
Huh. Somehow I feel like that would have been I'm curious how much they brought over to the new one. But yeah, so they have to pull off this heist. They do, and of course, because they're all geniuses, there's some silly stuff that happens. Some stuff goes wrong, and they use their wit to essentially outsmart all the people who are arrayed against them. Get the money, pull off the heist, frame somebody else for it, and they all live happily ever after, I guess. So
Well, Maybe not, because there's a second film.
Is there actually a second film?
Yep, and it's got David Tennant in it.
That's what? Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I can't really remember. I the second one I'd seen previously, I think, but it was like so many years ago that I don't remember what happened. I just remember David Tennant.
So hold on, there are two Doctor Who characters in these
Yes.
movies because the first the ditzy receptionist was the chick that's currently playing Doctor Who, and then
Hmm.
David Tennant, which was I think probably of the modern Doctor Who is probably the best one.
I
He's
think
in the
that's
sequel. Like that's
yeah.
interesting. But yeah, it's very much if you go into this expecting like a serious movie that's going to challenge your preconceptions or make
I don't
you
think anyone would go into that movie
no,
thinking it's serious.
it's just it is very much a movie that's probably for like young teens,
Mhm.
and I I don't know. You're right though. Watching it as an adult, I there were quite a few moments where I was just kind of cringing, like, oh,
The
that was
fucking the one that really like just shivers was the scene at the beginning where they're making fun of the new girl, and they do that kind of Black Mirror esque shit where they're recording her, and I
oh
really don't
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was more like that was it was kind of played for laughs as if it was just like, oh, they're just messing with each other. I was like, that's really fucked up.
yeah, that is super fucked up. Um,
Yeah, I think the bit that at the beginning that made me cringe was when they were introducing all the groups and they were like, oh, this is this clique, this is this clique, and I don't
yeah,
know. I always find that in cringe. Even when I was in high school, I found that cringy because we didn't. Maybe it was just my year was odd, but I feel like my high school year didn't have really well defined like cliques.
they're never as defined as that, but there was always very clearly the popular kids, and then there's the
Yeah,
quieter kids that just want to get by on their own.
maybe
I
those
don't know.
those groups exist and I just didn't notice them. I just talked to everybody.
As they proved at the end, near the end of the film, when they were giving her the makeover, you can make one person look like any one of those groups,
Hmm.
which I thought was quite a um, even if it wasn't meant as kind of a meaningful thing, but
You know,
it was really highlighting that yeah, you can be any one of these people.
let's try to draw meaning from this like tween
Well,
movie. But no, I agree with you. I actually agree with you that I think that is actually a really good message for a movie that was just like silly fun. I think it actually had a lot of very positive messages in it.
mm,
Like especially considering like they're shooting guns, they're blowing shit up, they're blowing off all their schoolwork, but
yeah,
it had some positive messages in it about like, getting along with people, working together for a common goal, and how, that makeover scene exactly where they're just we're all kind of the same and we can kind of make ourselves into what we want to be. There were surprisingly a surprising number of good positive messages in the movie despite the fact that it was really just like a funny silly movie for tweens.
yeah.
um, I am saying tweens by the way and not teens on purpose because I think this is aimed at like 11, 12, and 13-year-olds probably if I had to guess.
Yeah, or even younger, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just brings me back to days of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There were
Um,
a
Go on.
couple things that I can't figure out. The criminal guy, the one that's kind of employing them to make like bootleg vodka and repaint cars and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's a criminal enterprise being run out of the school at night by this random like criminal character, and he just seemed kind of useless.
Yeah, he was kind of meant to. 'Cause
Yeah, I guess he was just meant to be the butt of the joke, but I just kept expecting him to have his moment, and he just never did.
mm. I mean, if the name one And I'm not meaning
What?
I'm not taking any offense by what I'm about to say, and I hope no one else thinks that I am.
Hmm.
There's no smart male characters in the entire film
The headmistress.
considered a woman.
Yeah, I know, I know. I know it's somebody cross-dressing. Also, by the way, that's a point on the bingo card. You gave a disclaimer before you gave your opinion.
Did I? Ah, shit.
But I agree with you. And
Bamboozled again.
I think that, I don't know, maybe obviously it was on purpose, but I agree with you.
Yeah,
There
it's a
really
satirical thing. I think it was well played, and it's the right thing, and they did the right thing with it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying why his character was always going to be the butt of the joke. Because it's
Yeah. I think the only one that even approaches being like relatively competent was the minister guy, the minister of education guy.
what, the one who had his trousers pulled down in the
Yeah, and
room
then
he
gets kicked out a
stumbled into,
window.
and then a bunch of
Yeah, that guy.
I don't think so.
But like I said, I think he's the one that comes the closest. I didn't say he
Right.
was competent. I said I think he comes the closest to being competent. But you're right.
I would
Yeah.
say he was probably the least competent because, I mean, at the end when he like opens the curtains and he's completely nude and he's just like, who does that?
Yeah, there's something that goes along with that. I think it wasn't. I didn't find it like weird and objectionable in this. There are two varieties of like girl power movies, right? Or girl power media, I guess, or TV shows or episodes. Because I feel like every TV show that came out in the '90s had to have a girl power episode. Which there's two ways to do it. There's the good way to do it, which is this one, and the way they did it was, they made all the girls like they were all intelligent and competent, and they worked together and they accomplished a goal, right?
Yeah.
It showed them working to accomplish something and just being successful through just being good at what they were doing and trying to get it done right. Then
Yeah.
there's the bad variety of it, which is, oh god, like I hate coming back to this movie because we haven't talked about Marvel in a while, but Captain Marvel, that movie,
Right.
I finally got around to watching it, and it's just, it's a girl
Have you
power.
heard they've replaced her?
Did they actually?
Yeah, they've actually taken her out and they've replaced her with someone else.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if the new actress will. Yeah,
I'm sure they will have been
I mean-
a lot more careful.
I mean, the actress was a dumbass, but that's most actors are dumbasses. I am fully capable of separating the art from the artist. But in the movie itself, it was very much a girl power movie, and they did it in just a bad way. They made the message was just she's invincible. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not. If you want to like, because there's it's not just like girl power. They do this with a lot of different movies where they're trying to send a message. There's a good way to send a message, and there's a bad way to send a message. And the good way to send a message typically is like you kind of show someone, like you want to empower somebody to do something and accomplish something, and you show them like other people just like them going out there and accomplishing and doing that thing. The bad way to do it is just to show the person at the end point already awesome and already doing that thing, and just be like, look at that person, that's just like you, you're already there. It just, I'm describing this poorly, but
I think
hopefully.
to put it more simply, I think the best way to show when it's been done good or when it's been done bad is that in something Saint Trinian's, it was not the women versus the men. There were quite a few men on the good side.
That's a good
So I
point.
don't think it was about.
Yeah, it
that.
wasn't antagonistic.
No. Captain Marvel, with exception to like, God damn it, what's his name? Eye patch dude.
Oh, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. It seemed like, or at least from what I've heard, it seemed like it was mostly a gals
No,
versus guys kind of thing.
yeah, you're right. It was very much like
So yeah,
every
it's fine to fine to have a joke and fine to have a laugh at the expense, but don't just make it and then say
okay,
because they're evil
yeah, I
because
think yeah,
they're
that's
this.
sending the wrong message
Yeah.
because the message of the movie is what every single man on earth is there to put you down and oppress you. It's just,
Mm.
I mean, the truth is always more complicated than that. There's good people and bad people of all races, sexes, and creeds.
Yeah. But moving on to a more
A
happy
more,
topic for
yeah,
this.
more happy and safe Christmas. I mean, hold on. This is the Christmas special. We haven't talked a single bit about any sort of Christmas movie or media.
Christmas film. Well, I was going to talk about Scarface, but
Okay, let's. Well, we haven't watched it yet.
I know exactly. I was going to say I want to watch it, and I've been like, because of payday, I've been like,
Yeah.
it's been bleeding into my mind.
It's a movie that I have wanted to see for a very long time.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to my dad about this yesterday too, and he sang its praises, and wanted to tell me more about it. But then when he found out I hadn't seen it, he's like, "Okay, I don't want to spoil it for you. You have to see it."
Yeah. Good. Okay, some more Christmassy themed films. The Muppets. Treasure Island was one when I was a kid, which I haven't seen in flipping forever.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I know it exists.
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I think it used to be a Christmassy film. I don't know if they still play it. I don't watch much TV these days.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I had that on VHS, and I remember watching it at Christmas quite a bit.
Christmas movies that I watched as a kid. I mean, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that was a big one. The Grinch, the original one, the
Yeah, I was
animated
never a
one.
fan of the Grinch as a kid.
Uh, let's see. Oh, there's one that I'm thinking of, and I just can't call it to mind.
Die Hard. There you go.
I did not watch Die Hard as a kid. Oh, It's a
It's a
Wonderful
Christmas
Life.
film.
It's a Wonderful Life. You know that one?
No.
It's a movie. It came out in like the late 40s, I want to say.
Sounds depressing.
It's not actually. It's fairly uplifting. It is depressing. I mean, it's about a guy who almost kills himself and then learns to, just like through literal magic, finds his way back to his family and happiness, and learns that his problems were small in the face of all the joy that he's built for himself, his kids, his wife, his community. It's a very uplifting movie.
You sure you're not thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh when he gets his grandpa stolen?
God damn it! No, I am not thinking of Yu-Gi-Oh. But if you haven't seen it, maybe that might be my next pick, because my next pick is probably going to be sometime around Christmas itself. And it's a good Christmas movie. It's just it starts off very dark, but just becomes very uplifting by the end of it. It's just very good character development, and it's all in black and white, by the way, too. It was a black and white movie.
Okay. Right.
But just excellent.
I know a Christmas film.
What?
Have you seen the... Oh God, what was it called? The train one. The animated film.
I know the one you're talking about.
The
Christmas
Midnight Express.
Wait, is it Midnight or Christmas?
Pretty sure it's the Midnight Express.
All right, well, it's an express of some variety.
Yes, the kid... I hated that film.
I never saw it.
The reason I hate it...
Mm.
As a general film, it's not bad, but there's a couple of things I disagree with. First of all, what kid leaves their house in the middle of the night, climbs on board of a random fucking train that's in the middle of the street? Anyway, just really, it's like watching a horror film and being like, why would you open that fucking door, you idiot? Kind of thing. Second thing, which is arguably the thing that I dislike most about it, is there is a particular scene where he gets into a train carriage which is filled with puppets and mannequins.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's really fucking creepy, and I was a kid when I watched this first, I think, and I was not ready for it, because it wasn't a very cheery film in general, but it was nothing like that, and then suddenly it was on that, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is terrifying!" And it only lasted like
Yeah.
2 minutes that they were in that train carriage, but it really threw the film off for me.
So I haven't seen it. You're doing a great job singing its praises. I so there's a similar movie that I had an experience with. There's a Christmas movie called, I think it's called like A Christmas Story or something like that.
Right,
It's considered like a Christmas classic. This was a
not a
movie.
Christmas Carol.
No, not A Christmas Carol. Although that is another one that I used to watch as a kid with Scrooge and everyone else.
Mm.
So, A Christmas Story is it's a movie that I think quite a few people around excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. Quite a few people around me like always grew up like watching it. It was the same fucking people that had the whole Elf on the Shelf thing.
Right.
Swearing more than I should this podcast. They would just, I don't know, they'd sing his praises. The basic premise is this kid, and I'm going to describe it very unfavorably because I hate it.
Okay.
This kid is begging for like a BB gun for Christmas, and everyone
Right.
around him is like, "Oh, you shoot your eye out," and then I heard that cork, and then he finally gets the BB gun at the end of the movie, and then he shoots himself in the face.
What
And
the
worst,
fuck?
the worst part about the movie is he doesn't die. 'Cause
What?
I
How's that
hated
bad?
I hated that kid so much. When he shot himself in the face, I was clapping.
Oh my god.
We watched it in school, like around Christmas when the teachers didn't have anything to teach, but we were mandated to be there. They'd occasionally just put like a Christmas movie on,
Yeah.
and that was one of them, and that was the first time I saw it. I hated that movie, and I think most of the people who liked it, it was just nostalgia, because the my problem was the main character. Like the kid is the most obnoxious, entitled piece of crap human being that I can imagine. I'm again describing him very unfavorably. He probably wasn't that bad. He just annoyed the crap out of me.
Right.
And he goes through the entire movie like whining until the very end of the movie. He finally gets what he. So he doesn't shoot himself in the face in particular. He fires the BB gun into a piece of aluminum siding. It ricochets off and hits him in the head. So it's a ricochet with a BB gun. He's fine, but he's freaked out because, oh god, I actually shot my eye out. And it's like, well, it serves your ass right for everything you did in this movie.
Right.
I just it's a considered a classic Christmas movie, and I think the only reason it's considered a classic Christmas movie is because of nostalgia. Like some people watch it as a kid, and so they show it to their kids, and they keep going and continuing the life of this god awful movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, okay, we're very cynical people, clearly. Um, I have actually thought up a Christmas film I did genuinely like. I cannot remember anything that was bad about it.
No.
Are you able to think up one?
Well, I just said. I mean, It's a Wonderful Life. That's a Christmas movie.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely
yes.
loved it. Christmas Carol. That one. Absolutely loved it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's a more kiddie one. I love that movie. I think
Yeah.
there are genuinely Christmas movies that I watched and I loved. That was not one of them. Like I couldn't, and I think it may have been expectations too, because before I'd seen it, I'd heard people talking it up. Like when the teacher said he was going to put it on, everyone was like, "Oh, this is the greatest movie ever!" It's not greatest, but it's a great Christmas movie. Everyone was excited to see it, and I think the hype may have made it worse for me.
Probably one of my favorite Christmas movies. Probably my favorite Christmas movie now I think about it. And it's probably not one that many people would think of, or at least remember. But The Magic Roundabout.
I've never heard of that.
Have you never heard of The Magic Roundabout?
No, this may be a British thing.
With
Mainly 'cause
Dougal the dog?
we don't call them roundabouts over here either.
It's a merry-go-round.
Oh,
Please tell me you know what a merry-go-round is.
I know what a merry-go-round is, but I do not know the movie.
Okay, the Magic Roundabout. Honestly, I couldn't tell you much of the lore of the world, but there is a pre-established like set of characters, and it's just a really fun and cutesy animated Christmas film. And yeah, you're following this derpy-looking doodle dog, and Doug the dog. Maybe no, that's a different film. That's Up. Yeah, no, it was very colourful. There was good action. There wasn't any stupid, scary bits. That honestly, a good Christmas film doesn't have to be complex. It just has to be.
It has to make you feel good.
Yeah, it has to be like a kind of a message, and it makes you want to watch it again because it's like a nice thing, not a scary fucking thing.
I think that's why Hallmark movies always become huge around Christmas, because they're always just very generic plots. Everything's very obvious. People aren't terribly complex in them, and they usually have just a very warm and wholesome message at the end.
Yeah.
And
Ooh. Oh
what?
God. Sorry.
No, go on. What were you gonna say?
Is this a Christmas film? Right? Because if it is, it's a fucking winner.
What movie?
Ice Age.
I wouldn't call that a Christmas movie.
Is it not? I mean, obviously, with the place that it's set, you could obviously say it's like always Christmas.
Well, just because it's cold, by that logic, it's always Christmas in Siberia.
But I don't know. It's very Christmas, and I feel like we always used to watch it at Christmas. I mean,
Maybe.
that film though, hilarious, adorable, and I've seen that film so many fucking times, and yet I still get the urge to watch it occasionally.
Yeah, I've
Not
actually saw
talking
that
about
movie.
sequels.
I saw that movie when it first came out in theaters, but I can't remember seeing it too many times after that. It was a good movie. You're right. I enjoyed it, like start to finish. But
It even has an emotional message. Like, oh my god, and the kid like hugging Manny's tusk at the end,
aw.
and the like
There are a lot of movies out there, but you're right. I think I agree with you. Is that Christmas? You really want to have just some feel good movies.
yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah. Although then you have movies like A Christmas Carol is one that it has a uplifting ending, but the way they get there is very grim.
Yeah, it's almost a grim fairy tale kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh. Well, do you have any other Christmas movies, media to talk about, or can we wrap it up there? Because I'm excited to give you your quiz.
Ooh, whiz me up, Daddy.
That was weird. All right. This has been segment 2 of the TMCJ podcast, our media segment. Continuing with our Christmas special, we will be back in just a minute, where I will give the first quiz that I've done to Blue.
Yeah, and I'm gonna suck at it. Be right back.
And welcome back to the TMCJ podcast. We are now on segment 3, our Christmas special quiz segment, and I am once again on camera, because even though I'm not the one answering questions, we've been doing it this way. So here we go.
Maybe one day there'll be me, but
I don't have a hat this time, as Blue reminded me. Last night I was saying that I could wear this on
what
my
about the
head.
fairy lights at the back?
You're telling me to put on the Christmas lights?
Yeah.
You're right. I could have put the Christmas lights on my head. I was joking that I could put this on my head and tape it to myself. Unfortunately, I don't have that much tape, so you guys don't get a hat this week. I'm sorry.
Unimpressive.
But I'm also not the one being quizzed, so
This
I
is
don't
true.
need the hat.
Quiz me.
So I gotta open this up
This is
for
true.
the event that you get a question right. People are gonna laugh at the. This is the only tiny glass I could find. It's this tiny. I don't even know what this glass is supposed to be for. But here we go. So, you ready to
man.
jump right into it?
Okay, yeah. How do I have a minute? Like,
I am going. I keep forgetting that they did this. Windows did something where I can't search anymore. You will have 1 minute. I am going to have a stopwatch on
okay,
screen.
cool. I can even see this. Excellent.
There we go. Reset.
So that's 1 minute and 6 seconds. Okay.
All right. I will read the question and then start the clock.
Okay. I'm ready. One buzzer.
Okay.
Wait, don't take a drink before we even started. Jesus.
It's tea.
Oh, I didn't know you had tea. Also, your tea looks a lot like. Anyway.
It is. It's a dark tea. Scottish breakfast tea.
Yeah.
Wait,
Is that
no,
the
it's
first
not.
question?
It's a psalm tea. Anyway, yes. So, in the biblical story of Jesus' birth, what were the gifts given by the three
Oh, okay.
wise men, also known as the three kings or the three magi? So, go.
Gold, frankincense, myrrh.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That took you 2 minutes.
Bam!
2.8 seconds.
You know how many times I've done the nativity at school?
All right.
When I was a toddler? I was the fucking donkey in the Bethlehem story.
Oh,
I had a
was played
fucking
in-
mask and everything.
I used to do those. I played an angel, one of the angels that came down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just I know you were a kid then, so this wouldn't have been a thing, but
So
I can imagine an angel with a beard.
There's a bonus. I did not always have the beard. In fact, this beard is I've only had the beard for 3 years.
Yep.
So this is a bonus question for that question.
Okay.
This isn't like one of the main ones, but bonus points if you can get this. According to popular tradition, and this is not in the original Bible story,
Okay.
give any of the names associated with the three wise men.
Ooh. Oh god, what was that rhyme?
I'm gonna start the timer just in the interest
Yeah,
of.
sorry. Fuck, I've just got Bogus Bunsen Beans stuck in my head.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have got these. When I read these out, I was like, who the fuck are these people?
Okay, I don't know. Ooh. Doom Guy, Vin Diesel, Michael Jordan.
Oh, come on. No.
I don't fucking know.
Stop that. Their names are Melky
Mel.
or Melikor. That's the same guy. And then the
Right.
second guy is either called Caspar, Gaspar, Jaspar, Jaspis, or Gathaspa.
Okay.
The third guy is called either Balthazar, Balthazar, or
They all sound evil, and one of them
Bithasera.
sounds like a Jaffa cake. Fucking hell.
But yeah, I would have.
No
never
wonder they
gotten-
redacted their names in the film.
When I saw those names, I was like, I would have never gotten these.
No. Okay, so I've taken a drink for that. Have you taken a drink for the first part?
That was a bonus question.
Okay, wait, do I not get to drink then?
Do you not get to drink? You can, yeah, you can take one for not getting the bonus question.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, oh no!
We're not very good at these drinking games. We want to lose.
Mm-mm.
All right, next question, and I'll reset the
Okay.
timer. What do people traditionally put on top of a Christmas tree?
Oh, is it multiple choices or
Nope.
really?
Nope.
Because there's two things that people normally put on top of a tree:
All right, then name both of them.
angels and a star.
That's the answer.
Bam. Man, this is fucking weak sauce. I thought I was gonna get fucked on this. I mean,
So, at the advice of your girlfriend, I actually rearranged the questions so that the really good questions come later.
oh yes, I remember actually. I was actually in Goldman.
Yeah. So they start off a little.
So they are
easier,
going to get.
more
So I'm going to
generic.
get. Like, it's just going to be at one point where I stop getting them right, and then I'm just going to be drinking. So I just took another drink. Fuck's sake.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
So this one, and I took notes in the side of things that I would give you partial credit for. This is one that has like a couple different answers. So
You know what we should have to do?
Hmm?
Sorry, this is just an on-the-spot thing that went through my head.
Go for
We
it.
should have two glasses in front of us. One of us has rum in it. The other one is just Worcester sauce.
What? So you get the alcohol reward if you get it right. And you
Exactly.
You get the bitter. Honestly, I just drink straight Worcestershire sauce.
I mean, Worcester sauce is pretty damn nice. It would be much. I don't know which I prefer.
Yeah, no,
but no, like
I like putting that sauce on stuff. So
a booby prize. That's
honestly,
a bad way of saying it.
if I needed a punishment drink, it would be sugar water, because that's something that tastes disgusting.
Like just a can of Coke in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Just soda, that would be a punishment, because I've never had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
I am so ready.
All right.
Put my fucking drink down.
Where did the tradition of the Christmas tree originate?
Okay, so God, this is. I mean, I'm serious. Like a pagan tradition.
No hints.
What?
I said no hints.
No hints. Okay. Oh shit. God, I'm trying to think of what it. I mean, I'm sure it's something to do with like bringing wood in for the winter because for the fire, and I don't know.
You have 10 seconds left.
Yes, I'm going for the Halloween answer. It's to ward off evil spirits.
No. Where? Not why.
Oh, where?
Yeah, where?
Oh shit! Fuck. I don't know. Fuck. I had like 5 seconds.
It's fine. No. You misunderstood. I'll let you just. The timer's ended,
right.
but just name a place. I will narrow it down and say it's a country.
Yeah, I was gonna guess a country.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. Shit. Germany.
Holy shit!
Really?
You actually got it right. Yes.
Fuck yeah!
It originates in 17th century Germany, or maybe it was 18th century Germany. But yeah, it was a German tradition that spread throughout the rest of the world. Partial credit would have been given if you said Egypt.
I was going to say
Rome.
Greece first, and then what?
Greece, Egypt, and Rome. They had a tradition of putting evergreen stuff in around that time of the year, because it was supposed to bring good luck for a new harvest, because those branches stayed green.
Mm.
But no, the actual tradition of the Christmas tree started in Germany. So the partial credit would have been Rome or Egypt. God.
Also, I'm just saying, but the obviously the audio file that I can see popping up on the screen looks like really fucked up Christmas trees. Sorry.
And then here, what I was about to say.
Ha ha.
Anyway, this is.
Sorry, this makes no sense to anyone listening to
No,
this.
it doesn't. So for the people listening at home, just so that you're not completely lost here, Blue is losing his mind, but not quite as much as you think he
I've had
is.
like 3 drinks.
Blue can. The way we do this so that Blue can actually see the video that is being recorded, the video that you're all seeing right now of my lovely face, that. To make that happen, because the camera can only be recorded by one program at a time, I've got my audio recording and my video recording both up on my screen, and I'm sharing that screen with him. So he can see the peaks and dips in the audio recording at the same time as he can see my face. So, little technical thing out of the, to interrupt the quiz show. Sorry about that. All right, next question. Are you ready?
I am sure.
Okay, fine. What is another name for a Christmas tree?
A conifer? A pine tree? Uh,
I,
um, are you looking for a more spiritual answer?
no, I'm asking. So I am not asking for the species of tree. I am asking for another name for a Christmas tree specifically.
A Jesus totem.
A Jesus totem. All right, I'm just gonna say you lost that round. the other, I like that. I like that name though. A Jesus totem. No, another name for a Christmas tree is a Yule tree.
Oh, but that's just a. Oh, that's not. That's. I think. Oh. Hmm.
Although I think I kind of like calling it a Jesus totem. That's a really good name.
I mean, a Yule log
Yeah.
is. I mean, what does Yule mean?
Yule is specifically referring to that time of year, like the Christmas season. I actually don't know the definition of Yule. I did not look that up in preparation for this.
If anyone else got that right at home,
I'm looking it up.
Hmm,
Oh,
okay.
Yule is actually a time of year. It's between December 21st and January 1st. Yule, or Yuletide, is a festival historically observed by the Germanic peoples. And considering they made up the Christmas tree, it makes sense that it's also called a Yule tree. Anyway, you got that one wrong, so drink.
All right. Oh well. To be fair, there's silver lining, I guess.
Oh my god. All right.
Tastes like a tree.
So we are now. Excuse me. We've now. How many questions have we gone through? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm here. So this one is moving away from Christmas tradition and into Christmas media. In the movie, the Grinch movie, the Grinch Stole Christmas movie, the original one from 1966,
Jesus,
the original
I haven't seen
animated
this.
one.
I've
How
not seen
many?
the original.
What? Sorry, what?
I've not seen the original. Go on.
Oh, you really? Oh, you have? Okay, well, you're gonna lose this one then. How many sizes did the Grinch's heart grow at the end of the movie?
Oh, it's some stupid fucking number. It's like 20 times.
Is that your answer?
Ah, son of a bitch.
Is it your answer?
The Grinch grew. Fuck it, I just stick with 20. I don't think it's right, but.
It isn't right. His heart grew 3 times that day.
Oh, shit.
I'm so used to losing, I was about to take a drink as well.
God damn it.
Alright. Let me know when you're ready for the next question.
Blue Bear's headache grew 3 times by next morning.
I'm noticing looking at my own camera that when I like smile widely, I squint with one eye.
Oh,
Alright.
that's the Raymond coming out of you.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Alright, our next question, still
Yep.
on the subject of Christmas media and movies. In the movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, what
Again,
did...
not something I've seen.
Wait, have you not seen it? Alright, well, you
Wait,
should.
I don't think so.
You may have seen this, or you may just know it from popular culture, because this is I designed these questions as being things that are kind of ubiquitous. They're things that
Okay.
at least I thought were common knowledge.
I mean, there's a lot of lore behind, the Rudolph canon.
The Rudolph canon. Alright, in the movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, what did Hermie the elf want to be instead of a toy maker? The profession that he wanted to be.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright, think of stupid fucking jobs. It won't be a cobbler, although I can imagine that being a job. But,
For an elf.
so, what was he originally, did you say?
He was a toy maker. He was an elf working in Santa's
He was
shop.
a toy
and
maker. He
was-
would have wanted to be either one of the ones that fed the reindeers, or one of the ones that, I don't know, loaded the sleigh.
You've got 20 seconds left, so I will give you a hint on this. He wanted a complete career change. He didn't want to work in Santa's shop anymore.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck, he wanted to be a toboggan instructor. I don't fucking know.
He wanted to be a dentist.
Oh, fuck, what the fuck?
He wanted to be a dentist.
That's a lie! Who the fuck wants to be... Jesus. What that means is he wants to be rich, alright? He doesn't want to be a dentist.
He just wants cash.
No one wants to poke around in people's mouths. He wants to be a fucking tooth fairy, essentially. Jesus Christ.
Alright. Take your drink.
Yeah, fuck.
Alright, so we're now moving into Christmas traditions.
This is posh stuff I'm drinking, and I'm... Ugh.
Yeah, you're sounding pretty knackered. Well, hopefully you'll get a few points back on this one, although it might be it's nerdy, or at least I think so. Alright. In Japan, what is...
Seppuku! Sorry, go.
In Japan, what is it traditional to do on Christmas Eve?
Is it traditional in Japan, not China?
Japan, yeah. I will say that this is... It isn't like an ancient tradition. This is a fairly modern thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck me. Oh, is this something about, like, those, like, tags?
No. So, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It's something that you do if you are in a relationship.
Oh, fuck. That was a really inappropriate answer that went through my head.
Oh, God.
Is it what the letting up the lantern with someone? No, that's Chinese lanterns. Fuck! God damn it.
They do share some traditions, but you are over time. Couples exchange gifts, take romantic walks, look at Christmas
light
lights,
a candle,
and have romantic dinners.
Oh, okay. I suddenly thought of the frickin' B-Stars thing.
Basically, Christmas Eve is almost like a soft Valentine's Day in Japan.
God damn it. Right, is it just eating a romantic dinner?
It's basically just, if you named anything that would happen on Valentine's Day, you would have been right. Here's a place for you to grab some points back.
Oh, I've got to take a drink, haven't I?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, cool.
Sorry. You're not on camera, so I can't keep you honest. We're on the honest.
Guys, I think you've known me long enough to know that I will be taking the drink.
Okay. So, name... I love the little pop.
That was a nice pop, wasn't it?
That really was a nice pop. That's going to be great for our audio listeners.
That needs to be like some kind of like soundboard sound.
Yeah, I may actually clip that little sound bite there because the sound of a cork popping is just it's just such a satisfying. Bing. Anyway, so name a Christmas tradition in medieval Europe that was not carried over to, was not generally carried over to modern times.
Roasting chestnuts.
No. I'm not
Beheading the elder member of your family.
Wait, sorry, what was that one?
Beheading the elder member of your family?
No.
Wow.
I will
That
give
sounds
you a
like that
hint.
was close.
I will give you a hint and say
Okay.
that when I wrote this question, it was before we talked about Christmas traditions earlier, and I realized that something that you mentioned earlier is actually one of these things, so saying it didn't carry over to modern times was a mistake.
Medieval. Can you tell me which country? Or not?
All over Europe, actually. It happened all
Ah.
over Europe. And you said that your family does this thing, so
The coin in the Christmas pudding.
boom, got it.
I think people still do that these days.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. When I'd never heard of it. Like my family didn't do it, and I don't know anyone in the U.S. whose family did it. So maybe it's something that still exists in parts of Europe, but it's just not really
Except
carried over.
these days, instead of like a little coin, they put a Mastercard in there.
It was. It might be easier to find then. Some other things that were not carried over is what's called the Lord of Misrule or the Feast of
Oh, for
Fools.
fuck's sake!
What?
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's me this time.
Yeah, I was drinking by accident. I caught myself halfway through.
Well, isn't that an amazing sentence? I was drinking by accident. Anyway,
That's what I tell her every night.
yeah, there's a lot of cool traditions that they used to have, like for Christmas feasts and things, and it just didn't. A lot of them didn't carry over. You're pretty much fucked on this next one. Actually,
Yeah?
how many questions have I asked right now? I'm at 9.
I'm halfway through.
Yeah, you are, but I just so the question that I was going to ask, and
Yeah.
I will. You're pretty much guaranteed to get it wrong, but what is an alternative name for eggnog? But considering you've never had it, I mean, I started.
Oh no. Oh shit. Fuck. There's a. It's shit. I can picture the bottle, and I think there's. I could be completely off the mark, but shit. There's like basically eggnog that comes in a fucking bottle, and it's like custard, but alcoholic.
Yeah.
Can't think what it's called.
What's a major ingredient in custard?
I'm honestly drawing a blank.
All right. Well, that's your time.
Yep.
An alternative name for it is milk punch.
Oh, okay, no, I've never heard that in
To
my
be
life.
fair, I've had eggnog and I'd never heard of it.
I've got to look up that. Hang on.
Okay.
Custardy alcohol.
I
Drinking
probably
custard.
these
What?
the next question is kind of mean. I'm realizing because
Right.
it's near the end of the quiz. You've had a few drinks and it's a math question.
Advocat was what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. What was it called?
ADVOCAAT, all one word. Advocat.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either. It sounds like that might be some kind of a brand name.
Produce of Holland. So, yeah, not surprising.
All right. So next question, and are you prepared?
Christmas drinking custard. Sorry, yes, I am in the zone.
Okay. How in the song 12 Days Before Christmas or
Wait, I
sorry,
need a drink. Go on.
oh,
No, keep going.
in the song The 12 Days of Christmas, how many total gifts are given in the song?
Okay, so
For reference, that's a song the on the first day of Christmas my
Yeah,
true love
you-
came to me.
oh, okay, you haven't started telling me. Okay, now. Right, 12, 23, 33, 42, 50, 57, 63, 68, 72, 75, 77, 78. I'm gonna give it 78.
So I'm gonna give you partial.
No,
credit.
I did it wrong.
Oh, did
Because
you?
hang on, it's like fuck. Hang on, one. I didn't times it up, did I? Oh shit! It's 1-1. 2 twos. No, it's not. It's 12 ones.
You're
I
realizing.
can't do it in this time, but I worked out what I did wrong. 12 ones, 11 twos. Shit. I could have worked out if I
You
just...
could have, and you did realize like your mistake there. Yeah, because 1 is counted 12 times, 2 is counted 11 times, 3 is counted 10 times,
Would it
and
be 144 or something?
it's quite a high number. And I had to think about this when I saw what the answer was. That the answer is 364.
Right, so it'd be 6 times...
Yeah, so
12.
it's going to be
No.
12 times 1, 2 times 11, 10 times 3, 9 times 4, 8
Yeah,
times...
you only need to go halfway, though, and then just double it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you only have to go so far.
God,
and
I'm
then
so
double
mad at that.
it's an inch... I never thought of that song as a math problem, and then... So partial credit. I'll take half, and you do as well.
Yeah, to be fair, considering how much I've drunk, and believe me,
I honestly thought
I've
that
had
question...
a lot of apple juice.
Yeah, I thought that question was just going to completely flummox you, honestly, and then, yeah, you got very close. You got closer than I would have.
Yesterday,
honestly, at
I
this
was
stage.
adding up the fucking XP for my D&D party, and that was a harder maths problem than that.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna take a drink there.
Yep, half of one though, because again, partial credit.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. On the subject of Christmas songs,
Yep.
in the song Winter Wonderland, what do they name the snowman? This is the sound of Blue thinking. Or maybe singing to himself.
What was the song?
Winter Wonderland.
It's too obvious to say Frosty.
Yeah, it's not Frosty.
I've just got that one verse stuck in my fucking head. I don't know, Rupert.
No, they don't call him Rupert. All right, I'll call it there.
Okay.
The line is what is it? In the something we can build a snowman, and we will call him Parson Brown.
Well, do you what?
They call him Parson Brown.
Is that the actual lyric?
Yes, Parson Brown. Yes.
Who the fuck? What, is that even a name? Parson?
It sounds like it might be. I don't know. I don't know anyone named Parson either, but that's what they call him in the song.
Fuck, they're just asking to get called Parsnip. I'm sorry if you're out there called Parson. I just have never heard that before.
Yeah.
Also, I love every time you laugh, there's a very distinct ha 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 ha.
We've got the only Parson out there listening to this podcast.
Yep, only one.
Okay.
Last of his kind.
All right. Did you drink?
Oh, shit.
Because we've got
Ugh!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more questions. So,
God.
this one you should be able to get because we talked about it earlier. I'm gonna reset the clock. In Charles Dickens' story, A Christmas Carol,
Yep.
what is Scrooge's first name?
McDuck? No, kidding.
Wrong Scrooge.
Oh, fuck, I want to say like Sylvester or something dumb like that. Again, it's something I don't think I've ever actually seen.
Really? Okay. This was
Like, not the original.
Hmm.
It's gonna be something super like generic, like Thomas or something.
No, it actually isn't.
God, look at you, your smug fucking smile. uh, I'm sure it begins with an S. Salieri. I don't know.
His name is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, of course it fucking is. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, how did I not remember that? Oh my god, Ebenezer.
I mean, I'm surprised. This one I thought was a giveaway, but you actually got closer on the math one.
Well, the math one is one I could work out, but
Hmm.
this is one I have to remember.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty good with... If I'm given a puzzle in front of me, I'm pretty good at working out, even intoxicated. But my memory is awful.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Let's see. This one's maybe a bit more of a puzzle. Maybe you'll get this one. Are you ready for the next question?
I think so. It better not be like, what's Alicia's birthday, because I will fucking hate you forever.
I'm not even sure I know what it is.
I'm kidding, sweetie, I love you.
What astronomical event coincides with Christmas?
Astronomical event.
Mm.
Alright, first of all, are you sure it's astronomical and not like astrology?
No, astronomical.
Okay.
As in, alignment of the sun, moon, stars.
Aligns with Christmas. Well, it's not the equinox.
That's correct. It is not the equinox. That happens in spring and fall.
And it's not like an eclipse or anything, although that would be great if it was.
Mm.
I don't know, the planets don't fucking align. Astronomical.
You were relatively close when you were thinking about the equinoxes. Think about if those happen in spring and fall, what happens in winter and summer?
Well, it's like the longest day? No. I don't... No. Oh, I'm already way over. I didn't even check the
Yeah.
timer.
I just saw the clock. You were on the right track. So it's the shortest day. And what it's called is the winter solstice.
Is it the shortest day? I
Yep.
don't think it is.
It's not the shortest day, but the 3 shortest days happen right around that time in December. So
I'd say that's a bad question then, because that's not correct.
it coincides with the winter solstice, and in the summer there's the summer solstice in June. It's sorry. Fine. If you think the question's unfair, I'll give you partial credit for it.
I
But
don't know. I'm still gonna take a drink anyway.
you were getting close when you were thinking of equinoxes, because the equinoxes are when the days are even lengths and they happen in, again, spring and
You
fall.
say equinox.
The solstices are when the days are at their shortest or longest, which is June and December.
Hmm.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
And this is I'm going to call this a bonus question just because if you think, well, actually maybe you'll get this. I'm going to ask it. What Roman holiday was originally on the same day as Christmas? Well, not the same day, but the same week as Christmas. Sorry.
It's gonna be some kind of like Caesar Day.
I will say that it was a celebration of a Roman god.
Okay. Roman gods. God, I don't actually know many Roman gods. So they were. hang on. They were no. I've like got Greek gods in my head now. Roman gods. Wow. How am I not remembering? I've got literally a mythology book on my fucking shelf.
I'll give you a hint and say that the planets are named after Roman gods.
Pluto. That face! Don't give me that face! I was just like, that's a Roman planet name. Fuck.
No, you're right. Pluto is a Roman god, but
Pluto the dog.
it is not Pluto. The celebration is called Saturnalia, and it is the celebration of the god Saturn.
Saturnalis. Or something. Yeah, I actually heard of this. Although I don't actually know what the event is. I've just...
Yeah. Saturnalia, and I will not describe Saturnalia until I ask the next question, because the next question partially relates to that.
This is just kicking a guy when he's on the ground.
These are my I'm sorry, these are the questions I like the most, so I saved them for the end.
Sorry.
But I think you have a legit chance with this next one.
Jesus. I'm gonna get railed for this, by the way. I'm gonna get railed for this.
I'll be curious to see.
This is a lot of high quality round.
I'll be curious to see what people think of these questions and of your performance. I don't know. Maybe sorry.
Just something else that I feel needs to be mentioned is that I've been awake, admittedly my own fault, for about 27 hours now.
Yeah, I was surprised when I woke up and you were still awake.
This is.
So we've got the defense. It's been entered into the official law.
That's me being a PU55Y.
You've only got two questions left, and one of them is a. Well, actually, no. Yeah, you've just got two questions left. Okay. So, name 3 Christmas traditions that were also a part of Saturnalia. So, traditions that the Romans passed on to Christmas.
Right, that we still do now.
Yes.
So I was going to say, like, sacrificing goats.
Yeah, no. That we still do now.
My mind immediately went on sacrificing virgins? No. God. Okay, still celebrate. So, firework? No, well, some kind of fire displays?
Yep, candle lighting. I'll give you that one. That's one.
The wreaths? Holly wreaths?
I didn't have that one, but that's actually true. That is one of them.
Oh shit, hell yeah. And St. Nicholas is a German thing, so it doesn't mean bollocks.
Just think of what you do on Christmas.
Roast.
Feasting. That's a third one. I'll say you got that.
Really?
Yep.
Roast?
So
you're very generous.
Well, I am being generous because I am realizing that some of these questions are meaner than I intended them to be. But
that's fine.
What I had written down.
So how many do you know yet?
So putting down evergreen bows, so wreaths, holly wreaths, candle lighting. That's something that came over. But the 3 that I had written down that I thought were gonna just be easy were feasting, gift giving, and singing and caroling.
See, in my mind, I was looking for, like, ritualistic things.
So, during the Feast of Saturnalia, the Roman holiday, what would happen is it'd be, like, 3 or 4 days where people would just, essentially just
party.
Be with family, and on those days, the slaves would actually be allowed to do whatever they wanted. The masters served the slaves, they gave gifts to everyone. They would go around to people's houses and sing, and they'd play gambling games and party and eat and drink, and it was a time of coming together, which I think part of that carries over into the Christmas traditions. And that actually feeds into the final question. Why was Christmas's date set to the 25th of December, even though Christ's exact birth date is unknown?
It's not about. Well, I mean,
think about what we just talked about.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Christmas was taken from the pagan traditions, and I don't really know much about the pagans.
Well, just think about it from like a practical perspective.
Shortest day of the year. Equinox.
No, not from that, but like for practical reasons, why would Christmas's celebrations be set to the same day as the pagan celebrations?
They were trying to one up them. I don't know.
That's it.
What?
So let me read what I have written here. So Pope Julius I said that Christmas would be set to that the celebration of Christ's birth would be set to the 25th of December. And the reasons for this there were multiple ones. One was to give a Christian holiday, to create a Christian holiday that would be able to compete with Saturnalia, which happens the same week.
Right.
The other was because there was already a celebration of a Roman god's birthday that same week, the celebration of the Roman god Sol Invictus, which was the Roman sun god of victory and not being conquered.
Yeah.
And the idea was that converts would find it not only would it give a Christian holiday that was happening around the same time to compete with that holiday, but it also would give it make converts kind of feel more comfortable. Like they weren't changing everything about their life. They were still having this sacred celebration around the same time. So the reasons were entirely practical why it was set to the 25th.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, does that mean I don't have to drink?
It means you don't have to drink. It means I do. And I will say, that is the end of the questions. Yeah.
Digimon question? God damn it, Kaiser.
Looking back, what's your feedback on my first attempt at being the quizmaster?
Okay, it was far more on point than I normally.
I did my best to keep these as Christmas themed as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for that I scold you. No, it was good. Man, I thought it was gonna be like after the first question was like that. I was like, maybe I can wipe this clean.
I got you in with some softballs, and then
you got, as you said when you were making the quiz originally, there was a lot of history questions.
Yeah, and it's probably just because that's my area of interest. I like studying history, and so it was just natural to have a lot of history questions. But
it was good, and it was informative.
Thank you. I hope it was informative to all of our viewers and listeners. And honestly, if you liked it, let us know. We have a Twitter account, and if you're watching on YouTube, we have a comment section. I'd love to hear feedback from the people, because we do want to make these quiz sections about also playing along at home. But I think that's where we're going to wrap things up. Hopefully you have enjoyed this Christmas special episode of the TMCJ podcast. Yeah. And hopefully you'll join us again soon.
Well, before we wrap up...
sorry.
Did you have something to say? Did we even make a plan for New Year's? Is there something happening for New Year's?
We did. So we may not do another New Year's quiz show because we just did this one. But the podcast coming out after this one will be somewhat New Year's themed. I think we're going to talk about topics. We had ideas about talking about New Year's resolutions and potentially...
Fresh starts.
Yeah, fresh starts. And maybe even potentially making New Year's resolutions on air. So that's a little teaser for that one. But who knows? There probably won't be another quiz show because we usually do one a month. And
gotta keep them special.
Yeah, keep them special, keep them fresh. Feel like we might burn out on them if we do them too often. That being said, look forward to that, and thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you're having a Merry Christmas and enjoying
have a very jolly Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you for the new year.